I'd like to call this village board meeting of November 7th, 2019 to order. Would the clerk please take the roll?
President Jackson.
Here.
Trustee Schmidt.
Here.
Trustee Sullivan.
Excused.
Trustee Light.
Here.
Trustee Meritato.
Here.
Trustee Pojek.
Here.
And Trustee Schroeder.
Here. Would you all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Schroeder, you are first.
All right. Okay. Stop by the Glendale Heights Center for Senior Citizens on Wednesday, November the 13th from 8:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. to get a jump start on your holiday shopping. You'll find an assortment of handmade crafts ranging from scarves, jewelry, ornaments, and much more. This event is open to the community, and you do not have to be a member of the Glendale Heights Center for Senior Citizens. For more information, please call the Center for Senior Citizens at 630-260-6050. To enable an efficient and effective street sweeping schedule, parking on streets is not allowed during the month of November between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. on one designated day. Color-coded no parking signs have been posted in 4 different zones throughout the village. Parking is prohibited on Monday for the red zone, Tuesday for the blue zone, Wednesday for the green zone, and Friday for the brown zone. To find out your zone, visit the village website. Or for any questions on the street sweeping program, please contact Public Works at 630-260-6040. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mary. Trustee Pojek.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
The Village of Glendale Heights invites the entire community to celebrate the start of the holiday season with the annual tree lighting ceremony on Monday, December 2nd. Santa and Mrs. Claus will be our guests of honor, and holiday decor and lights will illuminate the Civic Center. Enjoy the sounds of the holidays through the performance of the Glendale Heights Choral Group starting at 7 p.m. Sharing the holiday spirit as Mayor Linda Jackson and the Village Board of Trustees and Mr. and Mrs. illuminate the Civic Center complex with just a flick of the switch. Then be sure to stop by the council chambers after the ceremony to warm up with free refreshments. For more information, please contact the mayor's office at 630-909-5303. Breakfast with Santa will be celebrated at Glendale Lakes Golf Club on Saturday, December 14th from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Breakfast includes all-you-can-eat pancakes with sausage and a beverage. The price of the adult breakfast is $5. Children's breakfast is $3. Photos with Mr. and Mrs. Claus are $2. No registration is required and the event fee is paid at the door. Don't miss your chance to tell Santa what's on your Christmas wish list. For more information, please contact the Sports Hub 630-260-6060. Thank you.
Thank you, Chester. Trustee Meritato.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Please join Mayor Linda Jackson, the Village Board of Trustees, the Glendale Heights Police Department, and the Glendale Heights VFW Post 2377 for a ceremony at Veterans Memorial Park as we honor all military personnel, past and present. The Veterans Day ceremony will begin at 11 a.m. on Veterans Day, November 11th. The event includes a flag and color guard presentation, a rifle salute, and a tribute to all our fallen warriors. Please note that all village offices will be closed on Monday, November 11th, in observance of Veterans Day. For more information, please call the mayor's office at 630-909-5303. Help spread Christmas cheer to those in Glendale Heights. The Village of Glendale Heights Christmas Sharing Program will be helping those in need this holiday season by providing meals and gifts to families. Gift tags to listed wish for items will be decorated on trees located on the first floor of the Civic Center. Center for Senior Citizens and the Sports Hub starting on November 18th. Please attach the gift tag to your unwrapped gift donation and return it to the Civic Center or the Center for Senior Citizens by December 6th. For more information on how you could get involved in Christmas sharing, please contact Michelle Calhill at 630-260-6070. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Trustee Light.
Mayor,
You're welcome.
the next coffee at the Mayor and Village Board is scheduled for Saturday, December 7th, from 10 a.m. to noon at the Center for Senior Citizens. If you have any comments, suggestions, or questions for the Mayor or Village Board, please call the Mayor's office anytime at 630-909-5303. The Village of Glendale Heights has begun a village-wide water meter and reading device replacement program. This project is contracted with Water Resources, Inc. and involves the replacement of every water meter and reading device throughout Glendale Heights. A notification will be mailed to customers from Water Resources, Inc. requesting the scheduling of an appointment to undertake this work. For more information is available on the village website at www.glendaleheights.org/watermeter, or you can contact Public Works at 630-260-6040.
Thank you, Mike. Trustee Schmidt.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
While writing your holiday greeting cards to friends and family, please remember our military personnel who have or who are currently serving our country during the holidays. The village is collecting holiday greeting cards and will mail them in time for a holiday delivery. Please drop off your holiday greeting cards to Village Hall by December 5th. Please do not put cards in envelopes. Decorate cards with glitter or add personal contact information like email or social media. For more information, please call 630-909-5327. Visit the historic house located at 311 Windy Point Drive on December 9th at 6:30 p.m. and experience what a Victorian Christmas might have been like 100 years ago. Admission is free and refreshments will be served. Tours of the home will be offered and children will have an opportunity to make a Victorian decoration to take home. For more information on the Victorian Christmas, please contact the Mayor's office at 630-909-5303. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Next, I would like to call for a public hearing by the Mayor and Board of Trustees on November 21st, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. for the purpose of discussing the annual tax levy, assessment, and collection of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2019 and ending April 30th, 2020. So if you would all please mark your calendars. And next, I would call for a special joint meeting of the Village Board of Trustees and the Plan Commission on Tuesday, November 12th, 2019 at 7 p.m. for the purpose of discussing zoning code text amendments related to fence regulations and cannabis. So if you would also mark your calendars for that one. We have two proclamations tonight. One is the proclamation to proclaim the month of November as American Diabetes Awareness Month. And the other is a proclamation to proclaim November 15th, 2019 as School Board Member Day. So if there are no objections, I will sign these proclamations.
All right, go for it.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have two guests here tonight from Salerno Rosedale Chapel. Would you please, Joe Salerno, for many years, came every year and made a donation to our DARE program. Unfortunately, Joe has passed, and his family and family business is still here to donate to DARE, which was very important to Joe, very important to us. And I want to thank you very much. So if George would come up. You can go up too. Cindy, you can go up. Your name's on here, so although I'm not even going to try and pronounce your last name.
Franciscini.
Chief, this is yours now.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. First, I'd like to say good evening, Mayor Jackson, village trustees, village officials, and all that are in attendance. While it's sad for me to be here this evening without the presence of my dad, I'm honored to be here to help carry out his legacy with regards to the DARE program and the donation that he's always made to you. The beginning of each year, we would sit down together as a business and as a family and discuss the important contributions that we could make to the community, to help the community, to better the community, to safeguard the community. And always on the top of my dad's list was the DARE program for Glendale Heights. And so it's in his honor that we present a check to you for the DARE program for $2,500, and we will continue to do that for as long as I'm here and as long as Cindy's here. And so, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Salerno's. This money is used by us for DARE. We're still one of the few communities that teaches DARE, right? And we sincerely appreciate the money, and I'm happy to say that we're going to be expanding, hopefully soon, our DARE program to include a second DARE officer. So this money will be used directly for training of that DARE officer. That should happen in February.
Awesome.
So we'll have 2 fully certified DARE officers because of funding such as yours.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I know you've been waiting for this.
I have been.
I know you have been. We now are getting a presentation of our 2019 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, which is the CAFR by Crow
And please state your name.
LLP. Pardon?
Please state your name.
Hi, my name is Christine Torres, and I'm a partner with
I know
Crow
that.
here to present the annual audit. I appreciate the excited introduction to the audit today. Of course, we're excited to be here to present the annual results. Again, this information is as of April 30th, 2019, so things happen after that date. To keep in mind that these numbers are as of that date. So I'm going to start off with just a quick summary of our opinions that we're issuing in accordance with the audit this year. There's quite a few because in addition to the financial audit, we did have a single audit that we performed this year. And what that audit is on federal funds. When you spend a certain amount of federal funds, the federal government would like a report to show back to them that the money that you spent was in compliance with their rules and regulations. So we'll start with the financial statements. There's an unmodified opinion on the financial statements. What that means is everything that we found within the CAFR in front of you is correct, it's accurate. We did our testing and we agree with all the amounts and the notes as they're presented within our materiality. There's no exclusions, there's nothing that we couldn't come to an agreement on, so really it's the best type of opinion that you can get. The nice thing is there was not any major accounting pronouncements that were implemented this year. So if you wanted to compare the current year numbers to last year numbers and prior CAFR, that's something you could easily do for this year. Due to the no major changes and shifts in those amounts, which we haven't been able to say for a couple of years due to the changing regulations. So that was a nice break this year. For our federal audit, our single audit, we did have one major program. The determination of what we test for the federal government is set out by their standards, their requirements. It was a grant that came through the Department of Transportation. And as we look at that grant, we test for compliance with rules and regulations. We also take a really close look at your controls over that grant and your controls over financial reporting. As we do that testing, if we find anything that's missing or lacking, or there's a lack of segregation of duties that we think could cause a material misstatement, we would identify that and report it in this report. As we went through, we had no material weaknesses, no significant deficiencies in internal control, so there are no findings. In addition, when we tested compliance over the major program, there was no deficiencies within compliance of the rules and regulations. So all the expenditures that we looked at and all the grant guidelines were being followed and there were no exceptions noted. So that is also a very good place that you want to be. And when you start to get findings, that starts to bring attention to what you're doing and more inquiries and more time spent by finance answering questions of auditors, which they love to do when we're here, but minimize as much as possible. The final opinion that we issued this year is in relation to your TIF districts. State statute requires us to look at a sample of your TIF expenditures, make sure that they're appropriate, they're following the guidelines, and they're within the regulations of the plan that was outlined, as well as being spent on items within that TIF district. When we went through and did that testing, there were no exceptions again. We had nothing there that we noted that was not in compliance, so we have a clean opinion on your TIF expenditures as well. So overall, a very good audit. No findings, and all the numbers are materially correct within your financial statements.
Thank you.
This, I know it's a little bit small on the screen. It's a quick summary of where all the numbers ended up as of the end of the year. You'll see this is all of your activities combined into two columns. One is governmental activities, and the second is the business type activities. The governmental activities, you'll see, has an unrestricted negative balance here, but that's really due to the recording of the net pension liability, which is paid out over many years to come. And when that was brought on, that's what caused that number to go negative. That is something that's very common when those liabilities were brought on. Here is the statement of activity summary, where you can see the revenues over expenditures and how that gets down to the change in net position for the year. Again, broken up by governmental activities and business type activities. And then I'm going to spend a little bit longer here on the general account summary. The general account is the main operating account of the village. This is where the majority of your revenues and expenditures run through. It does not include any restricted funds. So your TIF funds are not part of this. Your recreation funds are not part of this. Anything that is a specialized levy is not normally part of the general account. However, it does contain all of Public Works, all of the police, all of the general administration, and is really the main operating body of the village. When we take a look at this, we can see that You have a good amount of assets as well as fund balance that is there is positive of $12 million. That's a really good place to be. You can see that when we look at if your revenues and expenditures, there was actually an increase this year of about $2.8 million. The village had a really good revenue year. There were some unexpected revenues that came in. Red light cameras did a nice job, and really just controlling those expenditures as well as you go through the year. What that results in is that positive fund balance of 12.2, and that's really a key item that we're looking at as auditors and outside firms to make sure that that number is positive and staying positive over time. And we looked at also the number of months of expenditures and fund balance. What that number means is if you were to stop getting revenue today, but continued spending at the same stream that you did over the past year, how long would you be able to function and continue to provide the same level of service based on what you actually have in cash and on hand? And what that tells us is you would, with no revenues at all coming in, last approximately 6 months, which is above both your village policy of 4 months and the GFOA recommendation. GFOA is a governmental body that sets out a lot of recommendations for government finances. So to be above both of those, especially your own policy, is definitely that we're looking for and somewhere you want to stay. So with that, that's a high-level item of the financial statements for the year, our testing for the year. Again, I want to say thank you to the finance department. They do a fabulous job of getting all the information to us quickly and timely, and both Bill and Andrea have been wonderful to work with. No issues with getting what we need, and them coordinating with all the other departments, especially Public Works, with our grant testing this year. So we appreciate all the effort put forth by everybody. And if there's any questions.
Any questions from any of the board members? Thank you so much, Christine. Wonderful job. Thank you again, Bill, and all of our staff that has to provide all the information for this audit, but we appreciate
Thank you, Mayor.
your hard work. Thank you. Now we go to public discussion of agenda items. If there's anyone in the public that wishes to address this board on an agenda item, please step forward. Being none, you have the consent agenda before you. What is your pleasure? Trustee Meritato.
To approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
And Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. There is no old business. New business number 1 is a motion to waive first reading on new business items number 2 to 5. Trustee Schmidt.
I move we waive first reading on new business items 2 through 5.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? First reading is waived on new business items 2 through 5. Number 2 is an ordinance to amend a previously approved planned unit development for the property located at 760 East North Avenue, Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is from the October 17th Committee of the Whole. First reading has been waived. This would be ordinance number 2019-76. Trustee Light.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
And Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2019-76 is approved. Number 3, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit to permit a restaurant serving alcoholic beverages for consumption on the premises located at 729 East North Avenue in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is Schnitzelplatz, and this is from the October 17th, 2019 Committee of the Whole meeting. First reading is waived, and this would be ordinance number 2019-77. Trustee Schroeder.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
And Trustee Light?
Yes.
Ordinance 2019-77 is approved. Number 4, an ordinance to authorize the issuance of an entertainment permit for live entertainment for Schnitzelplatz located at 729 East North Avenue in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is Schnitzelplatz also, and it's from the October 17th, 2019 Committee of the Whole meeting. First reading has been waived, and this would be ordinance number 2019-78. Trustee Pojek.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt? Trustee Light?
Yes.
And Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2019-78 is approved. Number 5, an ordinance authorizing the Village of Glendale Heights, DuPage County, Illinois, to borrow funds from the Water Pollution Control Loan Program. This first reading has been waived, and this would be ordinance number 2019-79. Trustee Schmidt.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
And Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Ordinance 2019-79 is approved. We now go back to public discussion of agenda items. If there's anyone in the public that wishes to address this board on an agenda item, please step forward. Being none, a motion would be in order to adjourn. Trustee Schroeder.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This board meeting is adjourned, and the Committee of the Whole will start
No.
now.
All right.
Okay.
I would like to call the Committee of the Whole meeting for November 7th, 2019 to order. Ms. Clerk, will you note who's here?
So noted.
Thank you. Do we have any additions? No. I just have one I want to add real quick, just police department, that's all. All right. Public comment. Would anyone in the public like to make or address this board in anything in particular? Don't rush at once. Yeah. All right. We're okay for it now. All right, then. No committee recommendations. We do have a discussion regarding a little presentation of the 2019 tax levy recommendation. Would that be you, Bill?
Can that be me?
Oh, good.
Good, thank you. Always a privilege to be in front of you this evening to talk about taxes, one of my favorite subjects. We're going to offer a refresher course on the steps that go in behind the tax levy process, and we'll also give you a summary of the recommended tax levy for 2019. State law requires that the tax levy ordinances be filed with the county on or before the last Tuesday in December. Ready to go to the next one? Oh, we're on the next one. Taxing authorities all across the county send their levy requests to the county clerk. The county clerk assigns the property tax rate based on the equalized assessed value of all property in the village as determined by our two township assessors, Bloomingdale and Milton. Tax bills are prepared by the treasurer, and they go out at the end of April. Taxpayers pay bills in 2 installments in June and September. The county treasurer then distributes the share to the village. In examining tax bills throughout the village, there are many factors that cause the village's share from individual tax bills to be different in certain parts of the community. These differences are mainly related to school districts, fire districts, and townships. The tax rate shown here is for tax code 2041, which represents the largest tax code of the village's 2018 equalized assessed value. With at least a dozen different taxing authorities, it can be confusing to understand who gets property tax money and how much. The currency chart shown here represents the breakdown and percentages of taxes that are retained by each taxing district. Depending on where you live, 10.6% of property tax burden comes from the village. So for example, if your tax bill is $6,000, the village receives 10.6% of that, or $636. The remaining portion goes to the other taxing districts. Schools get the highest percentage. When we examine the average $6,000 property tax bill, we're able to see what each separate taxing body receives. An important distinction within the village is that there's no park district taxing body. Instead, the village has a recreation department. What it means to residents is that the $636 that they are taxed includes the levy for recreation. And because the village includes recreation as a part of its overall tax levy, our comparison to other municipalities can often appear higher. An advantage to having a recreation department as opposed to a separate park district are the benefits of unified support services. To give you some perspective on the difference between park district tax levies and the village's levy for recreation, you see here in this table that the village has the lowest amount levied in 2018 compared to our surrounding communities, which have separate park districts. We're all the way at the bottom. Going back to our $636 property tax example, this chart shows you the breakdown of what services the village provides with those tax dollars. If you break down the $636 daily, it comes out to $1.74 for village services. In this chart, you can see how the equalized assessed value has fluctuated over the last decade. Beginning in 2016 is when we saw the first signs of housing market rebound. The equalized assessed value has been on the steady climb for the last 3 years. In the 9 years from 2008 to 2016, the village essentially held the line when it came to the property tax levy, keeping a promise made by the mayor and the board of trustees to be fiscally responsible with public dollars. As a direct consequence of state actions in 2017, the village was forced to increase the property tax levy by 5%. With the village seeing strong and steady commercial development driven by improving economic conditions, staff is able to recommend a 0% increase for the 2019 tax levy. We would note here that property tax revenues represent a small portion of the funds that are required to provide all the services for the village. So if the village board concurs with this recommendation, a courtesy public notice will be placed in the newspaper in the form that's shown now. Public hearing regarding the tax levy has already been announced. It would be held at the November 21st board meeting. And my contact information is there, email and phone, if residents have questions about their property tax bill or cycle or taxes in general. And any questions?
Any questions?
It's your meeting.
Oh, it's my meeting, okay. No questions? I guess we're looking for a motion, more or less, if, is that what we're gonna need?
That would be great.
Yes, no? Yeah, okay.
Concur, motion to concur.
Can we have a motion to concur to move on with this project here and get it out there? Mayor?
Move it to the board with a recommendation to concur.
Second.
Second. And discussion on it? Any? None? Okay. Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? We will move it to the board with a recommendation to concur. Thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you.
fantastic. I guess on to other, and it was just me. Real quick, hi Doug, how you doing?
Good.
All right. I just wanted to say thank you to you and the police department. I've seen a noticeable difference in officers around the town. North Avenue, I've seen more presence on, which, I mean, honestly has slowed a lot of people down. Even if it isn't someone pulling someone over, I have noticed a huge difference in the traffic pattern. The churches, I've seen them out now. I honestly haven't seen the proverbial, meeting of the two squads in a parking lot for quite some time, and that's fantastic. I've noticed a difference with a lot of things, like the lawn signs that you had gotten them stuck in the lawns. I mean, it does work. It does help with people paying attention. And the one speed sign that we had, as much as I like to call it a scoreboard, it's not, but it does change the way people notice how fast they're going. And I think it's been fantastic. I mean, it's really worked out really well. And then that was, just a visible difference in the amount of officers out there I've seen. Maybe because we have more. I see more of them, but thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the kind words. Speed education and driving education is a major focus of what the police department is doing right now, so you'll keep seeing the signs out there, and you'll keep seeing requests for more radar speed signs and budgets as we move forward.
I do like it, and it did work very well, but thank you very much. That's all. Needed. Adjournment? Anyone like to adjourn? Chester?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Meeting adjourned.